So which is best to arm the Necron warriors with? Is it the Gauss Flayer or the Gauss Reaper? Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, the strategy focused 40k channel, where we're all about getting the most out of our miniatures on the tabletop. In today's video we're taking a focused look at the Necron warrior weapon options to see whether additional range will outcompete additional strength and AP. Will the standard Gauss Flayer on the left win, or will the shorter Gauss Reaper on the right? Now we've had a chance to look at the Necron datasheet from Indomitus. We know that they're 12 points a model as per a previous Warhammer community preview, and it's confirmed that we're able to mix and match these Gauss Flayers and Gauss Reapers within the squad. We could have an entire squad of Necrons with Gauss Reapers, or an entire squad with Gauss Flayers. Leaks have also indicated that neither gun will cost one more point than the other, they will all cost 12 points per warrior. Mixing and matching could be pretty helpful and maybe be a bit more tactically flexible, but let's look at the actual comparisons between their damage at a few different ranges. So in these comparisons we'll be taking a look at a unit of 10 Necron warriors firing at various targets at various different ranges. First of all, at long range, anything greater than 14 inches away, those Gauss Reapers aren't going to be able to fire at all. I just wanted to underline that it's a really significant advantage to be able to strike at longer range if you need to. Sometimes your warriors might be wanting to hang around and hold an objective, or might be moving up the board to try and get into firing positions, so being able to snap off at least one shot at long range really isn't a bad thing. Necron warriors aren't particularly fast as well, which further underlines the advantage of having a long range. 10 Necrons with the Flayers will kill about 3 or 4 Guardsmen or Orc boys, on average take down about 1 Primaris Intercessor, and do about 1 wounds to an Aggressor or Toughness 7 vehicle. Not exactly stellar damage, they're hardly in optimal range, but at least they're doing something. Now let's look at a more typical medium range. Say if your units either arrived from Deep Strike via a Night Scythe, or maybe teleporting across the board with a Veil of Darkness, or they've managed to get into 12 inches range in some other way. Here it's a lot more even. In general, the Flayer's mass firepower with 20 shots coming out of the squad tending to win out, but occasionally the Gauss Reaper's extra strength and AP will prevail. The Gauss Flayers kill 7 or 8 Guardsmen, or about 7 Orc boys, where it's around about 4 or 5 for the Gauss Reapers. They're pretty close in terms of damage output versus Intercessors and Aggressors, though the Gauss Reaper would slightly win out if you were firing against them with a 2+ cover save or something like that. Against standard Toughness 7 vehicles the Flayers win slightly, but the Gauss Reapers win very slightly against Knights and Toughness 8 vehicles such as Leman Russ. Overall though, I would say that this is generally a win for the Flayer over the Reaper, though if 2+ saves do start to become very prevalent in the meta, then the Reaper will become an increasingly attractive choice. Finally, if we do look at short range, then the Reaper wins out across the board, which is unsurprising really, because it would just be the same gun with a better profile. If you do manage to find yourself within 7 inches of the enemy, then you're going to be outperforming against hordes, though the difference isn't absolutely enormous here to be fair, it's only about 2 more Guardsmen or Orcs. The Gauss Reaper is significantly better against the Intercessors or Aggressors though, and decently better versus vehicles and Knights. This is the most damage output that you can get out of warriors, but it does require you to actually be within this very short range, which is a bit of a challenge. So in summary, at least in terms of damage output, Gauss Flayers are definitely better at 15 inches or more, and I'd say in general they tend to win the fight when they're between 8 and 12 inches. In general this is going to mean that they're going to be better at longer range if you're foot slogging Necrons across the board, or if you are deep striking them in, say via a Night Scythe or from the Veil of Darkness. Reapers have a couple of weird niches. They're flatly better at 12 to 14 inch range, and also better if you're less than 7 inches away from the enemy. They really do need some sort of delivery system to get them within that 7 inch range, and it does force you to get really up close to the enemy, which means you very much run the risk of being charged in the following turn thanks to the short threat range of the gun. Overall, from this damage output at the various different ranges, I'm more of a fan of Flayers over the Reapers in general. The extra range means extra flexibility on the slow platforms, which does win out for me in most circumstances. In terms of AP, we did mention that the Reapers are better versus 2+ armor saves, which is a bit of a saving grace, though if you're modifying your AP to be a bit better in some way, such as the Mephrit dynasty, which gets an extra pip of AP if you're within half range of your weapon, then that will be more powerful on the AP-1 Flayers than it will be on the AP-3 Reapers. It's less likely to be meaningful just by enemies having bad saves, invulnerable saves, and it has additional impact against higher save armies too. It's also a bit easier to get Gauss Flayers in Mephrit half range for the extra AP, as they only have to be within 12 inches rather than the problematic 7 inches of the Reapers. If you did want to run Reapers, then I'd say that the Sotek dynasty could be an interesting choice, allowing you to treat them basically like assault weapons, and that could allow you to close into that 14 inch limited range a lot easier, and you could afford to have your Necrons advancing more, which would make them more mobile across the face of the army. Delivering Reapers via a Ghost Arc could be another option as well. It should hopefully have a better chance of keeping them safe until they're right up close to the enemy, and hopefully you could get at least one volley of the deadly Reaper fire off, and you could potentially even combine this with the Deceiver's ability to redeploy some Necrons at the start of the game, put a unit of Gauss Reaper Necrons in a Ghost Arc, use the Deceiver's ability to set that Ghost Arc within 12 inches of the enemy, then the Necrons could get out and move first turn, giving them a rapid fire shot with the Reapers straight away. It doesn't really work as well if you're going second, but it is quite a powerful option if you're going first. As for some other thoughts on Necrons in general, I think that both squads will greatly benefit from the Royal Warden, particularly the Reapers as they have to get so close, and if you know that you can guarantee fallback and fire, then you don't need to be quite as cagey about getting them up close to the enemy, or quite as pedantic about finishing off every last model to stop you getting locked up. I think that the mix and match type squads could have numerous different advantages as well. You could think about deploying Gauss Reapers either in the very front rank to get in 7-inch range, or maybe in the back rank so you don't have to worry about them being within 12-inch for rapid fire. And you could also do the thing where if you happen to be facing a load of Space Marines with 2+ saves, you could remove the Gauss Flayers first as casualties, or if you're facing a bunch of Hordes, then you could maybe remove the Gauss Reapers first and focus on the more anti-Horde longer range Flayers. I think you would have to play such a unit fairly carefully though, as they sort of want to be doing two things at once positioning wise, which wouldn't be the easiest. Of course, we will have to wait for the full Necron Codex to come out. They're going to have new dynasties, some of which might have good synergy with these two weapons, so we're not going to be able to make a perfectly informed decision until all has been revealed. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Which ones will you be building, or will you think of having a mix of them just for the looks? If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics. I will certainly be talking about a lot more Necrons over the coming weeks, I'm sure. And if you have been enjoying my videos, I'd just like to mention that I do have an Element Games affiliate link, which is down in the video description below. If you're thinking about buying any models in the near future, then Element is a discount retailer within the UK that does 10 to 20% off 40k models. If you buy anything after clicking the link in the video description, then a small amount of the money goes to Auspex Tactics without costing you any more whatsoever, so it can be a way to help support the channel if you were thinking about buying something anyway. I also have a very similar link for Amazon in the USA and Canada. That works pretty much the same if you click the link and buy anything off Amazon whatsoever, whether it's any of Games Workshop's miniatures or something completely different. Again, a small amount goes to help support the channel and it doesn't cost you any more at time of purchase. A big thank you to you guys who have been using these, it really does help to justify me making all of these videos. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.